Boy, it seems like chalk, guys. It seems like chalk. But if I'm going to answer one, what about the women's elimination chamber match? Because I think it's a fait accompli that when it comes to the men's, because Drew McIntyre is doing some of his best work, not just as a heel, but as a troll. See, it's one thing to be a heel, but when you're a heel and a troll, now you're doubling down. Now you're cooking with gas now. So he's doing some great work. So what about the women's elimination chamber? So we're talking about Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Raquel Rodriguez. So, for some reason, we've been hot and cold on Liv Morgan on this show since it started. Where you saw her and you didn't understand what her character was, and then she heated up as a little bit of a heel or a little heelish. She was out for a while with an injury, and now she's back. So I'm thinking that even though everything seems all system go Becky Lynch, if there's going to be an upset, maybe it's someone in the women's elimination chamber.
But who, Liv, you think, or Bianca? Like, who in that match?
Like Bianca Belair, that I would say. Again, we're talking about what's likely. It seems like talk because ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, this is a house show in Perth with cameras. So all the favorites are supposed to win here. But since we're asking like who's likely, I think it would be the women's elimination chamber.
See, I agree. Bianca's the only one that maybe makes sense there, but I feel like they set up her and Jade, and maybe somehow Jade costs her. I look at the men's one, and the only one I can make a case for is Orton. Do you throw him a bone and say, all right, let's do Orton and Rollins again? It was so fun, however many years ago when they worked Mania, and just as a reward for everything he's been through the last few years. That one I could sort of make a case for.
Yeah, but he's just so on the periphery still, right?
Oh,
like ever since he returned at Survivor Series, I mean, he was, again, I guess technically he did wrestle for the Universal Championship at the Royal Rumble, but everybody knew how that was going to end with the way they went with that match. No chance Roman was losing. So yeah, I kind of lean towards the women's side because when we talk about young stars in professional wrestling, like Bianca Belair is near the top of that list, right? And maybe they decide to fast track Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley without much of a story this year. Doesn't make a ton of sense. I think you can do Bianca Rhea next year. That makes a ton more sense where you just have almost a year-long build going for those two. But yeah, the only way I think you make a case, it's on the women's side, it's because Bianca is really good. And are you really going to go into one of those two WrestleManias without one of your top stars on the women's side wrestling without a championship or not wrestling for a championship? Maybe she does end up wrestling with Jade Cargill. Maybe she finds a tag team partner and goes after the tag belts. I don't know what they do in the month for her leading up to WrestleMania, but they have to find something for her because she's certainly one of the biggest stars in the women's division.
No, I agree with that. But from the men's side, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the other name out there, and we've joked about on this show, is LA Knight. Like, we don't even consider him in the main event picture anymore.
We do not.
Okay, so make sure we're on the same page.
Whomst are we talking about? I'm unfamiliar with.
He's been on this show before. Friend of the show.
Okay, yeah.
Hey,
okay.
Yeah.
The guy who says yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah. No. Okay.
Now Usher might be there. Usher might be at Mania with him.
Not that. Yeah. That different.
Oh, not that one.
Yeah. Not that. Yeah. We're talking about LA Knight. Yeah. We knew it when it happened because we said it at the time, weeks beforehand. They put that match in Saudi Arabia. They put it right there with LA Knight against Roman Reigns. And if LA Knight was going to lose, it was going to kill his momentum. It killed his momentum.
Oh, it did. Yes, that is accurate.
Just like that. And by the way, I'm sure he's still doing well with merch. He still gets a reaction, but he is less than he was even 6 months ago.